son ran into a little difficulty getting into Tuskegee University, and he was 2 credits short. And so she called me, and she had a serious issue with getting her son out of Richmond, wanting to go off to school. So all these Grambling State t-shirts that you guys see was on behalf of a brother by the name of David Rusty Ponton, who sent these t-shirts back with Miss Towns, who went off to Louisiana to get her boy in the dormitory. Anyway, if I could have your attention, please. Oh, you got him on? Yeah. Oh, okay, so we going live all the way from Louisiana. All right. Yeah, look at technology, y'all. So he gets to see this whole ceremony way in Louisiana, beautiful Louisiana. Y'all pray for Louisiana too. Make sure you do that. Make sure you keep up, folks, in our prayers. But anyway, so the t-shirts came all the way from Grambling State University, which we're trying to make a sister city of Richmond, California, so we can start sending more of our children off to college there. So we're working that out as we speak right now. But more importantly, what we did is we raised some funds for her son and her to go down to Louisiana, and we raised $1,300 in the community. So on behalf of the community, we want to present you this check for that amount. Amen. Amen. So see, it's just not about eating barbecue and playing softball. This is a community really partnership and effort that we put together, and we have dozens of partners that came on board, sponsors and donors that helped out in this festivity. So we're gonna let Ms. Towns say a word real quick, like.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, this has been a real journey for myself. You know, I've been in Richmond for 29 years. We've been living in Improvement Point ever since he was in my belly. So for him to be able to go, you know, have a community effort, for him to get ready to go to college and be there is very good honor for me and myself and my family and everyone here. We really do appreciate everyone's support on Facebook, all the people that gave to the GoFundMe account. It's just so amazing how when you put in your community, how your community comes out for you. So I'm here for anyone, any parents that need any information on how to get your child to college, school. I work in the school districts. I be in all the meetings and things like that. So I know a lot of information on how we can, as our people, can make that happen for our children. Because we don't have that information just sitting around. We have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. So I love everyone here. And on behalf of me and Jalen, it says thank you. We could not done it without you. The certificate is presented to Rodney Alamo Brown in recognition of all your hard work and support for Jalen Morris, accepted into Grambling State College.
Rodney, turn it around. Turn it around.
Yeah, come on.
Tim Walker, where you at? Right here. Can you get the flowers, please, sir?
That's all. Okay. Wait.
Say something, Jalen.
Jalen, how you doing? We got you on loudspeaker. Can you sing?
Just say something. Just say thank you.
Thank you guys.
Keep up the good work.
All right, that's a blessing. Cycle Club in the city of Richmond, California. And these brothers and sisters have done a ton of great things for this community throughout the years. I remember when I went to Nice from school and my mama told me don't be going down there by that motorcycle club. I would go down there just to look at the motorcycles and dream, and one day I said I wanted to be in the motorcycle club, but I ain't got there yet. I still got some growing up to do. So on behalf of Soulful Softball Sunday, we're going to present the Road Runners Motorcycle Club with a nice plaque for the community.
Turn it around.
Thank you. Thank you all. We're celebrating 61 years this September 24th. I'm the vice president. My name is Joker. And it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be a part of what we're doing in this city right now, trying to help our youth get it back to how it used to be. So everybody can go anywhere and have fun and, you know what I mean, do what we want to do. You know what I mean? So everybody have a good time. Let's celebrate. Let's have some fun. Let's teach these kids how to do it right.
T-Dub.
Now this young man right here, interesting story. He and I grew up together in the townhouses, and he was like a little brother to me. Everywhere I went, he went. I had a scooter, and he used to come with me to Cal Berkeley. And I think the first time I took him to Cal, we went to a frat party. And I had he was 14 years old. I had no business taking him to a frat party, but I'm responsible for that, so I hold all claims to that. But this brother right here has done some wonderful things. He runs an organization called TMP League, and what they do is they get kids into college, in the D1 schools, D2 schools, and they run a football program in Northern California. So he sent over 40 kids from our area. I'm sorry, 60 kids. Y'all know. And the way he does it with a lot of love and ingenuity. So I'm gonna let him tell you guys exactly how he does it.
Thank you, Alamo. Obviously, it's my big brother. You already talked about it. TG, I played softball with him at Alamo right here. Kevin Whitaker, Pat was our coach years ago, right here, you know what I mean? From the townhouses, play sports in North Richmond and Shields Reed, wherever. So this really is about all the communities coming together. You know, so we started a few years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago. I see my Wayne Thomas back there. His son, Lil Wayne, was like a junior in high school, and we were trying to figure out a way to get our kids something to do after our football season was over. So we started playing 7-on-7 travel football. And after his son graduated, I kept going. The class of 2014 was a real class that put us on the map. That gave us the real name that we're known around the country. We took a bunch of guys from my area in Sacramento, where I coach high school football, some guys from El Cerrito, guys from De La Salle, wherever they were from, and we sent 22 guys to Division I that year. So that's what set it off. Where now, any high school athlete, if you're a football player, skill player, whatever, if you want to be known by the colleges, if you want a chance to go to college, you're probably going to get in contact with one of us, myself usually, and we take tours around the colleges all over the country. We have players at UCLA, Oklahoma, Nebraska. We have 2 that are committed right now to Alabama, the national champion. So any school around, we've built relationships with those colleges, with those coaches, the head coaches, where they're just a phone call away. So from a smaller school to a bigger school, wherever it may be, I make a pledge to anybody from where I'm from, Richmond, California. If your son has the grades, we start off with 2.6. If you have a 2.6, you have to be part of our tutoring program. I have tutors at my high school that will take them in. But to be on my team, for me to really promote you to colleges, we start at a 2.8.
Amen.
So if you have a 2.8 or above, 2.6, you're going to be mandatory in the tutoring program. 2.8, you from Richmond, wherever you're from, you give me a call, and if you film past the eye test, we're going to make that call. I see one of my former players walking up, Rodney Washington. I grew up with his dad, and just the fact that he was from Richmond, it was a pleasure for me to be able to coach him and put him on my team. He's one of my guys from the class of 2015. So that's the way we do it. If your kid is around and he needs an opportunity, Alamo or somebody else knows how to get in touch with us. Thank you guys for letting me come out today.
Yeah.
Can't never forget my guy Marvin Salsa. That's who I grew up with day one. You know what I mean? I see some of my friends, all these guys. Biz, I see Biz right here. Brother Marquis is one of my brothers. We grew up in the townhouse and playing baseball against the wall. Appreciate it, Biz, everything you're doing. Thank you, God. I see KD back there. What's up?
It definitely takes a village, y'all. Listen, y'all bear with me now. Just bear with me. We got a couple more folks now. Now this brother right here, this is the come here, young man. Young man, come here, young man. Don't let the gray hair fool you. Now listen, this young man right here worked at the Salesian Boys Club. And I remember going to the boys club when I was a youngster, and they had this goal that everybody would climb up the wall like Spider-Man and dunk the basketball, right? And I think I talked to him about that the other day. But he played at Richmond High School, and he was known as the original white chocolate. And if I'm not mistaken, my brother had a Jerry curl. I used to have some Jerry curl. Tell the story, Pat. But listen, this man right here can shoot the lights out of any gym. I've seen him practice a couple times with the lights off in the gym. That's just how good he was. So I know a lot of y'all heard of Coach Carter and all that. Everybody heard of Coach Carter? Yeah. Well, this brother right here was 20 times better than Coach Carter. And so he should have made it for mine. So anyway, they took a school called Deer Valley High School out of Antioch to the North Coast Section Championships, and they won. It's the funnest that school has ever taken. And so he was the assistant coach on that team. He worked at the Richmond Pal, started the Richmond Pal with C.A. Robinson, a lot of individuals over there. And he also started an AAU team in the city of Antioch, California. So I wanted to give this brother this award, Pat Satan, on behalf of Soulful Softball Sunday. So.
Yeah. Coach B.
Wonderful.
How you, Coach?
Bless him. I don't need to introduce his name here. But for the simple fact of his brother Thomas Gary right here, he's one hell of an athlete, El Cerrito High School. He's on the Hall of Fame, just recently inducted in 2014. Yes, 2014. So when I seen this young man playing in high school, he was like a Richard Dent mixed with a Dick Buckets. This dude was ferocious right here. And so when they said, man, we playing El Cerrito, it didn't say El Cerrito, it said Thomas Gary and them. That's what the schedule reads. We scratched out El Cerrito. But anyway, I wanted to say this to this young brother right here. You know, he took, where your boys at, man?
Guys, where my boys at? Where my boys at?
Now listen, y'all. Hey, this is very important. Listen. Everybody listen, please listen. This brother right here, he took 14, was it 14? He took 17 young men from this city all the way to Cuba in April. We'll say it again. He took 17 young men all the way to Cuba from Richmond, California to play in a Goodwill baseball tournament. And they did such a wonderful job, and they really represented us in a major way. And folks think you can't take kids from Richmond nowhere, they'll tear up the place. That's not true. These young men right here conducted themselves like ambassadors of our city the way they should. And we're truly proud of them. I got something coming up to you. Go ahead. So on behalf of Soulful Softball Sunday, we're going to present this award to Mr. Thomas Gary.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the community for coming out. Mr. Alamo Brown, I've been knowing him, played baseball with him. Right here at Nickel Park. We're trying to get this park rebuilt. To really get this park, back on the map. We've been trying to shut the park down and build soccer fields here, and I won't allow that. We have some plans here on the side of the building here that, replicate the park that I want to build here. We're in the process of trying to get the city's backing on all that. I have been voted to try to get my project over the 4 soccer fields project. So that's a plus. That's a plus. But I want to thank, I talked to these young men that Alamo said I took them to Cuba. And I was talking to them because we just got back from the College World Series too. I took the boys to a tournament in the College World Series, and we were able to play baseball out there. And in that tournament, I told them, thank you, because Cuba was never on my mind. You with me? College World Series was always something I wanted to do, a bucket list, something that I wanted to do, but maybe I would have got there, maybe I wouldn't have got there. But these young men took me there. They took me there. They took me to Cuba. I was able to go with them to Cuba. I was able to go to the World Series with them. These players, I'm trying to get something started like Terrence has going on with the football for baseball. I just talked to Mike. Me and Mike going to get together and try to put our heads together, but that's the situation that we have now. These young gentlemen right here should have the opportunity to play D1 baseball somewhere. They all have the talent. They all have the talent. They're being overlooked by, by others. You know, but it's just a possibility of giving them the dream of playing baseball. You know what I'm saying? Here in our community, we started right here at Nickel Park, and we want to continue this and take it all abroad. Plans are to go to Japan and also Australia here later in a couple of years. So Cuba, one thing I want to say before I hand over this mic is this is an opportunity for all our kids in our neighborhood. We have a tryout next week for next year's Cuba trip. Next year's Cuba trip, you can go on wheelhouseacademy.com and get all the information. All kids that are 13 years age and under, 12 years old, and we're taking a few 11-year-olds if they can handle the pressure. But the tryout is next week, the 27th and 28th. Get the information. All kids will be evaluated by our local heroes around here. I'm trying to get Mike to come and evaluate. So, you know what I'm saying, come out. And Alamo, thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah. Alamo, we got one back here too.
Thank you, sir.
All right, all right.
So this is what we're doing in the city of Richmond, California. It's a collaborative effort. It's a coalition, not a competition, is what we're doing, y'all. So we want to make sure that all and everybody can partake. Thomas will give you all the information that you need. If you guys don't mind back there, hello, 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 we're conducting a ceremony. Could you guys kind of tone it down, please? Thank you. So this is the young brother right here. Come on, bro.
Hey, Kev.
Now, even though he was younger than I was, I emulated my game after him. This was Mr. Baseball. This guy was 12 years old, playing like he was in the pros already. Really. So he went off and had a illustrious career and did a lot of wonderful things. And then he finally came back to the community, and he's doing an organization called Heat and Run. So they took some Richmond kids up to Reno, Nevada, and won the 12-year-old World Series, y'all. Back-to-back champions. I'm gonna say it again. They took some kids to Reno, Nevada, and won the World Series. My Lord. Now let the West County Times or the Richmond Standard put somebody got killed, and we got 500 likes and shares. But these kids are being shown what it is to leave here and go do some wonderful things. So y'all should be proud of that. So I'm gonna let the brother talk.
All right. First, just thank Brother Alamo for putting this together. Not gonna take up a bunch of time. It's just good to see everybody here for a positive outcome instead of a protest over somebody getting killed. This is why we're letting everybody see that it's positivity in this. We don't need something negative to happen to come together. This is a beautiful thing. And this is what we teach in our youth. This is what our program is about. I started right here in this field, watching all these coaches that brought me up, that was out here doing it for the community. They didn't even have kids on the team. They didn't have a son or a daughter playing on the team, but they were out here donating their time. And this is what I'm doing now. And also another coach of mine, my partner in crime, he couldn't make it because our team is in Manteca playing in the tournament right now. His name is T1 Blake. Very positive, very good brother. Exactly. Very good brother. Wish he was here to be honored also, because he is definitely a part of this too. He is definitely a big influence in this community, and we're happy to be here. We're happy to support our kids and our youth, and just thank Brother Alamo for putting this together, because they always say that there's no leaders in our community, but this is a leader in our community right here. This is the ones that they talking about that they don't even put on the media. They don't put it out there, but they always want to look back and say, where's our leaders? This is our leaders right here. So thank everybody, and thank Brother Alamo.
Contrary to public opinion, I'm not the leader, y'all. True. This is my man, 100 grand right here. Now listen, y'all. Now he runs an organization called New Life Movement. And the brother meet at the park over there at John F. Kennedy Park. They refurbished the park on behalf of him and a whole bunch of other community efforts and community organizations in Richmond. And so now it's safe for the kids to go over there and play after school or in the summertime. But at first they was playing with drugs and drug paraphernalia and all kinds of stuff that was over there. So the brother took the initiative upon himself to say, let's transform the park. And they transformed the park. Now I'm gonna let him tell y'all his story. As only he can tell it better than I can.
All right, thank you, Alamo. Thank you, Alamo. When I say new life, y'all say movement. New life. Movement. New life. Movement. When I say new life, y'all say movement. movement, new life. In the city of where? Richmond. In the city of where? Richmond. Thank y'all. I had to come in like that, y'all, because I'm hyped every day about this positive movement, y'all. When they say we couldn't do it, but we can do it, y'all. And you know what? I learned this from Alamo. We went on a tour with the school, and he said, well, I got a bunch of hundreds in my pocket now, right? And any youth in here, I showed y'all ID, said y'all got South Side, North Side, Central on your ID. I give each one of y'all $100. Let me say it again. Can y'all show y'all ID that say South Side, North Side, or Central? I will give y'all $100. It don't say it. It does not say it. So it don't matter where you from. We all from Richmond. We need to come together as one. And my motto is, let's rise together. And anybody that's doing something positive in our community, I'm there for it. You know, that's what I'm about. You know, I represent this logo on me. A phoenix, rising from the ashes to something brighter. That's what I'm about. I'm dealing with these high-risk youth. I was a part of Richmond with these 27 years of selling drugs, doing crime. I got April Fool too. I thought it was cool. I'm going to different hoods, having fun, making money, manipulating women. But then you go out down the street now, you can't even see your friends no more because they all wear in rolling heels. Now we looking loftier than we ever look now because we've been April Fool. Our youth don't need to go through what we've been through. We need to come together as one now and grab our youth. Don't hate because you ain't doing what he can do. Come out and support what you can do. That's what it's about. You know, and I'm just keeping it real, y'all. I didn't graduate, but I'm talking to college kids now. That's what it's about. Because I don't want you to go through what I've been through. It wasn't easy. I'm a true survivor in Richmond. I breathe Richmond, I eat Richmond, and I stay in Richmond. My parents still got the same area code right there on 3911 Ohio. I thank God for that. I thank God. And I'm just not that. I came to be the vice president of my community. I came to be the vice president, to put new stop signs in our community, to put more things in our life, you know what I mean? Our children in our communities nowadays, I know they say 2 minutes, but listen, she gave me the mic. I'm gonna get off, y'all. I'm a hyphy dude, I just love to talk. I got an opportunity, so I'm gonna get off, y'all, but I wanna say this, I thank you too, Pam. You know, she gave me my first office in North Richmond, but I'm from the South Side. And they love me the same way. And that's why I love it. And that's why North, South Side, Central, I'll rep y'all. New life moving, y'all. All right.
Yeah. Here you go, big brother.
All right, thanks.
All
right, show you flash so they can.
Hey, show the people. You want to know what change look like? That's what change look like. Yeah. That's 180 degrees right there, y'all. Yeah. Now listen, Johnny and Tanya, I'm sorry, Tanya Robinson, my bad. And this is the Robinson family here.
Amen.
In July, last month, their son experienced a tragic accident in Napa, California. His life expired there, and the whole community at large have been coming around and really extending our gratitude and servitude to the Robinson family as they go through their mourning session and process. And we just want y'all to know, man, that we really, really care about y'all. We're here for you. Anything you need, we're at your disposal. No matter what time it is, you can call. We're going to pick up the phone. And this is what the word unity in community means. Real talk. This is what the word unity in community means. Today, there's no North Richmond, South Richmond, or Central Richmond. Today is Richmond.
Amen.
And when Richmond is hurting, all of Richmond is hurting. So I'm not going to sit here and say, I know what you're feeling, because I haven't lost my child. So I don't know what you're feeling, but I do know what you are feeling. We're here for you.
That's right.
So we got your back like a chiropractor, brother. If there's anything you need, do not hesitate to call us. So we want to offer this on our condolences, and we'll do a moment of silence in a second, but we want to offer these flowers to you all on behalf of Soulful Softball Sunday and the committee and the steering committee. And also, while we're here, y'all, let me just make note that the steering committee, y'all might think I did all this by myself. No, sir. Even though I stayed up almost 24 hours every day by myself. But the steering committee, the folks you see with the black t-shirts on like these, did a remarkable job getting this event together from sun up to sundown. So let me make sure I express my gratitude to them before we go any further. Because they are the ones that put this together. So So if y'all don't mind, if we can have a moment of silence for not only for Ronnie Jamal Robinson, but the other 685 people that have lost their lives tragically in the city of Richmond, California in the past 30 years. So if y'all can just be quiet for a couple seconds, we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, can we get a moment of silence?
If you can be quiet for a moment of silence, cut your motorcycle off, please, sir.
A moment of silence, please.
All righty.
A moment of silence, everybody. Hey, a moment of silence.
Let us bow our heads.
Brothers, a moment of silence.
God bless you all. Thank you so much. Just like that word side. Just like that word side.
Long live Baba!
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, before we draft players for the game, let me point out one person right here, y'all. This, if you don't mind, can I get over here now, please? This young man right here is an Oakland A's great. His name is Mike Norris.
All right.
And this brother right here, we talk all the time, and we only talk about baseball, that's it. So when I was 14 years old, I used to go to the Coliseum, and I used to watch him pitch. So this was my idol. Everybody loved Ricky Henderson and Dave Murphy and all the other cats. But I would actually make my way down by the dugout and stare at this brother while he would pitch. And the ironic thing is, he don't remember me, but I remember him, but that's all good. So when I finally got in contact with the brother, and I told him what we were doing, he said, man, I'm all for it, Alamo. So what y'all looking at right now, y'all looking at history. He's only one of 5 black players in the major leagues to win 20 games. And he's the only Oakland A's to play in 3 decades, the 80s, the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And he told me a story. He said the very first person he struck out was the great Hank Aaron. So that's how he made the major league team, by striking out Hank Aaron. And so this brother, man, he has a story, and every time I talk to him, I'm like a little kid at the candy store. I'm just marveled by the stories. He came by my house yesterday and told me when he was pitching in the Dominican Republic. And I didn't want to let him go. He just came to drop some tickets off. But I think he stayed about an hour. I took his car keys so he wouldn't leave, so he could tell me more stories. Uncle Ricky, tell me another story. So we want to give the brother the opportunity to say a couple words.
Thank you very much, and I'm just so blessed to be here. And first of all, we need to praise God, because all of you guys, if you don't realize it, everybody's here is interested in making a change.
All right.
And what you're experiencing right now is unity in your community. That's the way you make change. I'd like to secondly thank Brother Alamo. If I may have been an inspiration in his life, he surely has added another dimension to mine. As we have coincidental thoughts on how to make and improve our communities, and especially doing that through our youth. And I'm determined to do that through my abilities. Kaiser Foundation has donated some money to me so that I can able to have youth baseball travel ball leagues. And Mr. Gary and I are going to get together, and we're going to have tutoring and mentoring and curriculum and everything that these black children need in order for them to progress in life. We need more than baseball players and rappers. We need scientists, we need doctors, we need lawyers. We have a black president. Your child no longer has to say that he can't be something in life, because he can be a president. Okay? So we don't need any more excuses, we just need to execute now. All right? So may God bless everybody this year and continue blessing. Thank you very much.